My parents messaged, "Stay home this year, your sisters are priority now," right after I settled their $300,000 medical bills. So I called the hospital billing department, canceled the payment plan, and let them face collections and lawsuits. Hey family, your support keeps these stories alive. Subscribe, say hi in the comments, and tell us your city or country. Let's get into today's story. I stared at my phone screen, reading the text message for the 5th time, convinced I'd misunderstood. Stay home this year. Your sisters are priority now. We need to focus on her family. 37 words that shattered everything I thought I knew about my place in this family. 3 weeks earlier, I'd signed the final documents. $300,000 in medical bills. Dad's triple bypass. Mom's cancer treatment. 2 years of aggressive medical intervention that insurance barely touched. I'd liquidated my retirement account, taken a second mortgage on my house, and picked up weekend shifts at the hospital where I worked as a nurse practitioner. My hands trembled as I sat in my car outside Target, groceries for Thanksgiving dinner filling my trunk. Turkey, sweet potatoes, collard greens, cranberry sauce. Everything Mom loved. I'd requested the entire week off work, my first vacation in 18 months. Did you get my message? Mom's follow-up text appeared. Your sister's pregnant with twins. Doctor says she needs to avoid stress. We can't have any tension this year. Tension. As if my existence created tension. As if sacrificing everything to keep them alive was somehow problematic. I called immediately. Dad answered on the first ring. Baby girl, your mother and I talked about this. Evelyn needs us right now. You understand, right? You've always been the strong one. Independent. Evelyn's more delicate. Delicate. My voice cracked. Dad, I just paid $300,000 to save your lives. I destroyed my financial future for you both. And we appreciate that, sweetheart. But family means making sacrifices. Evelyn's giving us grandchildren. That's a blessing we need to celebrate properly. The line went dead. He'd hung up on me. Evelyn. Always Evelyn. My younger sister by 3 years. Crowned princess from the moment she entered this world. While I studied through college working double shifts, Evelyn partied through community college on their dime. When I graduated with honors, they missed my ceremony to attend her boyfriend's birthday party. I sat in my car, memories flooding back. Age 12, winning the state science fair. Mom had promised to come. Instead, she'd stayed home because Evelyn had a cold. You understand, baby. Your sister needs me. You're capable of handling things alone. Age 16, getting my acceptance letter to nursing school with a full scholarship. Dad had patted my shoulder absently while discussing Evelyn's new car preferences. That's nice, honey. Hey, what do you think about getting your sister that Honda she wanted? Age 23, buying my first house. That's wonderful, Mom had said over the phone. Listen, can you co-sign a lease for Evelyn? Her credit's not great and she found this amazing apartment. I'd co-signed. She'd defaulted. 7 years destroying my credit score. Age 29, getting promoted to nurse practitioner. They'd canceled our celebration dinner because Evelyn needed emergency babysitting. She'd wanted to go clubbing. Now at 35, I'd given them everything. Literally everything. My retirement, my equity, my peace of mind. And still I wasn't enough. My phone buzzed. Evelyn's name appeared. Heard you're throwing a tantrum about Thanksgiving. Really, sis? Can't you just be happy for me for once? Mom and Dad need to focus on positive energy right now. Your negativity isn't helping. Negativity. I'd saved their parents' lives and I was negative. If you comment or share this story, drop a heart emoji if you've ever felt invisible in your own family. I drove home on autopilot, the groceries forgotten in my trunk until the next morning. That night, I pulled out every document, every receipt, every bank statement. The paper trail of my financial destruction spread across my dining room table like evidence at a crime scene. Payment plan agreement. $4,200 monthly for 6 years. My signature, bold and confident, dated 8 months ago. I'd believed I was doing the right thing. Saving my parents. Being the good daughter. My bank statements told a different story. Retirement account. Depleted. Savings. $847 remaining. Credit cards. Maxed at $43,000. Second mortgage. $120,000 borrowed against a house worth $180,000. Emergency fund. Non-existent. I'd done this. I'd destroyed my future willingly, lovingly, desperately. My phone rang. Unknown number. I answered, too emotionally exhausted to care. Ms. Wilson? This is Janet from County General Hospital Billing Department. I'm calling about your parents' payment arrangement. We've received a request to discuss modification options. My heart stopped. Modification? I haven't requested any modifications. Oh, I apologize. The request came from a Mrs. Evelyn Morris. She's listed as secondary contact. She's asking about reducing payments because she says her parents need to help with her upcoming childcare expenses. The room spun. Evelyn was trying to reduce MY payments so they could fund her lifestyle, while disinviting me from Thanksgiving. Ms. Wilson? Are you there? I found my voice cold and clear. Janet, I need to know something. What happens if I cancel this payment plan entirely? Silence. Then carefully, the outstanding balance would return to your parents' responsibility. After 30 days it would go to collections. They could face lawsuits, liens, potentially bankruptcy. Thank you, Janet. I'll call back Monday morning. I hung up and stared at the ceiling until dawn. Sleep never came. Instead, I sat surrounded by photographs, each one a monument to my invisibility. There I was at 8 years old, Christmas morning, holding the practical calculator while Evelyn drowned in toys. There I was at my high school graduation, standing alone because they'd left early for Evelyn's elementary school field day. But one photo stopped me cold. Age 17, hospital waiting room. I was wearing my prom dress, makeup ruined by tears. Evelyn had gotten drunk at a party that night. They'd called me to pick her up, knowing I'd been about to leave for prom. She needs you, Dad had said. Your date will understand. He hadn't understood. Nobody had. I'd found Evelyn passed out in someone's bathroom, vomit in her hair, surrounded by empty bottles. I'd cleaned her up, driven her home, put her to bed. My prom dress, the one I'd bought with money from my part-time job, was ruined. Mom had hugged Evelyn the next morning saying, "Thank God you're safe." No one thanked me. No one ever did. I pulled up my phone's banking app. The next payment was due in 6 days. $4,200. I'd been planning to cover it with my overtime pay from working Thanksgiving weekend. The shift I'd given up to make turkey for people who didn't want me there. My email inbox held 47 unread messages. I opened them chronologically. Collection notices for Evelyn's old apartment. Reminders about the car payment I'd covered when she'd forgotten. Requests for loans, money, help, always help. Not once had she paid me back. Not once had they asked her to. Sunday morning arrived with unusual clarity. I made coffee, showered, dressed in my favorite scrubs. The burgundy ones that made me feel professional, competent, worthy. Then I sat down and made a list. Total money given to family in 10 years. $437,000. I'd tracked everything obsessively, some part of me always knowing I'd need evidence someday. Evelyn's defaulted apartment, $8,400. Car payments I'd covered, $12,000. Emergency loans never repaid, $27,000. Co-signed credit card she'd maxed and abandoned, $15,000. Mom and Dad's medical bills, $300,000. Countless dinners, gifts, small favors, $74,600. Returns received, $0, 0 cents. My phone rang. I let it go to voicemail. She called again. On the 5th attempt I answered. "Baby, don't be like this. Your sister's crying. She feels terrible." "She feels terrible?" My voice was ice. "Mom, I've destroyed my financial life for you. I'll be working until I'm 70 to recover from this. And you're disinviting me from Thanksgiving because I create tension? That's not fair. We're grateful, but Evelyn's condition is delicate." The doctor said. "What doctor? What condition?" "He's pregnant, Mom." Millions of women are pregnant without needing their parents to abandon their other daughter. Silence stretched thin as wire. Then quietly, you've always been jealous of your sister. Even when we try to be fair, you create problems. Maybe some space would be good for everyone. Space. They wanted space from the daughter who'd saved their lives. You know what, Mom? You're right. Space sounds perfect. I hung up and immediately called the hospital billing department. It was Sunday, so I left a detailed voicemail requesting a callback first thing Monday morning. Then I opened my laptop and started documenting everything. Monday morning, I arrived at work early before sunrise. My colleague, Dr. Julian Harlan, found me in the staff room staring at my phone. You look like hell, Amelia. What's wrong? I told him everything. Every detail spilled out. The payments, the message, the phone calls, Evelyn's audacity with the billing department. Lance listened without interrupting, his expression darkening. When I finished, he said something that changed everything. Amelia, you know what we tell patients about toxic relationships. Remove the toxin. You can't heal in the same environment that made you sick. They're my parents. They're people who've been poisoning you for 35 years. Being related doesn't give them the right to destroy you. My phone rang. Janet from billing. I stepped into the hallway. Ms. Wilson, I got your voicemail. Before we proceed, I need to confirm. You're requesting complete cancellation of the payment arrangement you established? You understand this returns full responsibility to your parents. My heart pounded. I understand completely. The balance of $246,800 will revert to them. They'll receive notification within 48 hours. After 30 days without payment arrangements, it goes to collections. Are you absolutely certain? I thought of the text message. Stay home this year. I thought of 17-year-old me in a ruined prom dress. I thought of every sacrifice, every dollar, every moment of invisibility. I've never been more certain of anything in my life. Processed. You'll receive confirmation via email. Ms. Wilson, I've worked in billing for 15 years. I've never seen anyone sacrifice like you did for their parents. I hope you find peace. Her kindness broke something in me. I thanked her and ended the call, then stood in the hospital corridor watching the sunrise through the windows. Wednesday afternoon, my phone exploded. 17 missed calls. 43 text messages. 3 voicemails, each more frantic than the last. I was in the middle of examining a patient when the hospital reception paged me. Dr. Wilson, your mother is in the lobby. She's demanding to see you. Security is asking how to proceed. I excused myself, found my supervisor, and explained the situation. She nodded grimly. We don't allow personal confrontations in the hospital. I'll have security escort her out. Take your break, Amelia. You look like you need it. But Mom found me in the parking lot as I left for the day. She'd been waiting by my car for who knows how long. How could you? Her voice was shrill, desperate. How could you do this to us? We got a letter from the hospital. Collections. Lawsuits. You're destroying your own parents. I stopped walking 5 feet from her. I paid you $300,000. Money I didn't have. Money that's destroyed my future. And you disinvited me from Thanksgiving because I'm not the daughter you wanted. That's not what happened. You're twisting everything. We just wanted one peaceful holiday with Evelyn. Without me. You wanted it without me. After I gave you everything. Dad's truck pulled into the parking lot. He climbed out, his face red, and I noticed how much older he looked than 3 weeks ago. The surgery scar on his chest was still visible above his collar. You ungrateful child, he started, and something in me snapped. Don't. My voice cut through the parking lot like a scalpel. Don't you dare call me ungrateful. I destroyed my life to save yours. And you chose her. Like always. We stood in that parking lot for 45 minutes, the November wind cutting through our coats. Other hospital staff walked past, pretending not to notice the family drama unfolding by the handicapped spaces. Explain it to me, I said finally. Make me understand. Why am I never enough? Mom's eyes filled with tears. You've always been so capable, Amelia. So strong. You never needed us like Evelyn did. She's struggled her whole life. Because you enabled her. You paid for everything, fixed every problem, taught her that actions have no consequences. She's sensitive, Dad interjected. Not everyone is tough like you. I'm not tough. I'm broken. I'm exhausted. I've been pretending to be fine for 35 years because showing weakness meant being ignored even more. The words hung in the cold air. Mom looked genuinely shocked, as if this information was completely new. You always seemed so together, she said quietly. You never asked for help. I asked constantly. Every time I asked, you chose her. My prom, my graduation, my promotion. Every significant moment of my life, you chose Evelyn. Dad shook his head. You're exaggerating. We've always loved you both equally. I pulled out my phone, opened my banking app, turned the screen toward them. $437,000. That's what I've given this family in 10 years. How much has Evelyn contributed? Silence. She's contributed debt, destruction, chaos. And somehow she's still your priority. She's giving us grandchildren, Mom whispered. After we thought we'd never. So I'm disposable now? My purpose was paying your bills, and now that's done you can discard me. That's not fair. What's not fair is destroying myself for people who don't even want me at Thanksgiving. Evelyn's Mercedes, the one I'd co-signed for, naturally, pulled into the parking lot. She emerged, designer maternity clothes showcasing her bump, outrage radiating from every pore. Are you kidding me right now? She stormed toward us. You canceled their payment plan? Out of spite? Because you're not invited to one dinner. Not invited to anything, I corrected. I've been uninvited from this family. Oh my God, you're so dramatic. Mom and Dad just wanted to avoid your negative energy for one holiday. You always make everything about you. I laughed, a sound with no humor in it. Name one thing I've ever made about me. One thing this family has ever celebrated about my life. She blinked. What? My prom. My graduation. My first house. My promotion. My nursing license. Name one event where this family showed up for me without making it about you. That's not. We've always supported you. You've always taken from me. There's a difference. Evelyn's husband, Lance, approached cautiously. I'd met him 3 times in their 5-year marriage. He looked uncomfortable, like he'd been drafted into a war he didn't understand. Maybe we should all calm down, he suggested weakly. Stay out of this, Lance, Evelyn snapped. Then to me, they could lose everything. Their house. Their credit. All because you're throwing a tantrum. I gave them $300,000. Money I'll be recovering from for decades. And they told me I wasn't welcome. For one Thanksgiving. For my entire life. The truth of it settled over the parking lot. Even Evelyn seemed momentarily speechless. Evelyn recovered quickly, her face hardening into the manipulative mask I'd watched her perfect over 3 decades. Fine. You want to be petty? I'll match your energy. Either you reinstate that payment plan by Friday, or I'm telling everyone what you did. Your colleagues, your friends, the whole family. Everyone will know you're vindictive enough to destroy your own parents. I smiled, and it felt foreign on my face. Go ahead. Tell them. Tell them I paid $300,000 and they disinvited me from Thanksgiving. Tell them I've been the family ATM for 10 years. Please. I'd love for people to know the truth. Her confidence wavered. She hadn't expected that. Dad stepped forward. Amelia, baby, please. We can fix this. You can come to Thanksgiving. We'll make room. Just reinstate the payment plan. Make room? You'll make room for the daughter who saved your lives? How generous. Don't be sarcastic. It doesn't suit you. You know what doesn't suit me? Being invisible. Being used. Being discarded the moment I'm no longer useful. Mom started crying, the same manipulative tears that had worked on me for 35 years. We're your parents. We raised you, fed you, clothed you. You owe us. I owe you nothing. The words erupted from somewhere deep, somewhere I'd buried for decades. You did the legal minimum required of parents. You fed and clothed me because that's the law. But love, support, pride, Those required showing up. And you never did. Not for me. Evelyn grabbed Mom's arm protectively. You're being cruel. I'm being honest. For the first time in my life, I'm being completely honest. They called a family meeting. Aunts, uncles, cousins. Everyone gathered at Mom and Dad's house on Saturday. I wasn't invited, of course. My cousin Janelle, the only family member who'd ever shown me genuine kindness, called to warn me. They're planning to ambush you, she said. Make you look like the villain. I tried to defend you, but Evelyn's got everyone convinced you're trying to kill Mom and Dad out of jealousy. Let them think that. Amelia, are you okay? You sound different. I'm free, Janelle. For the first time in my life, I'm free. She was quiet for a moment. Everyone's saying you're having a breakdown. That you need help. Everyone's wrong. I'm having a breakthrough. Monday morning, my supervisor called me into her office. My heart sank. Had they complained to the hospital? Amelia, your mother called the hospital administrator Friday. She claimed you're having a mental health crisis and shouldn't be working with patients. My blood ran cold. That's not true. I know. I defended you. But I need to ask, are you okay? Whatever's happening with your family, I need to know you're mentally fit for patient care. I told her everything. Every dollar, every sacrifice, every moment of invisible pain. When I finished, she sat back, stunned. By God. Amelia, take the week off. Paid leave. You need time to process this. I don't need. That's not a request. You've been here 6 years, never taken a sick day, never asked for anything. Take the week. Get some therapy. Come back when you're ready. I went home to an empty house and cried for the first time in months. Drop a heart if you think therapy is important for healing. Thanksgiving morning arrived gray and cold. I woke up in my empty house, no turkey to cook, no family to see, no purpose to fulfill. For the first time in my adult life, I had nowhere to be. My phone buzzed. Janelle. Having a small dinner at my place. Just me, my husband, and the kids. You're invited. No drama, no judgment. Just family who actually loves you. I went. Janelle's tiny apartment was warm, filled with laughter and the smell of her experimental vegan stuffing that everyone pretended to enjoy. Her kids 7 and 9 hugged me like I mattered. During dinner, my phone wouldn't stop buzzing. I ignored it until Janelle's husband, Desmond, gently took it from me. They're posting about you on social media, he said quietly. You don't need to see it. But I did. I took the phone back and read every post. Evelyn had written a manifesto about ungrateful children and family betrayal. Mom had shared it with the caption, "When you sacrifice everything for your children and they turn on you." Extended family members were commenting, calling me selfish, cruel, heartless. Not one person had asked for my side of the story. Janelle watched my face. Say the word and I'll tell them everything. I've been watching them treat you like garbage for 30 years. I'll burn every bridge we share if you want me to. I shook my head. Don't. They'll just call you a liar. Besides, the truth is already visible to anyone who wants to see it. So what now? Now I rebuild. My finances, my life, my sense of self. Everything they destroyed. Later that night, alone in my house, I wrote a letter I'd never send. Dear Mom and Dad, I loved you enough to destroy myself. You loved me enough to let me. 6 months passed. The hospital sued my parents. They filed for bankruptcy, lost their house, moved into a small apartment across town. Evelyn stopped returning their calls when they couldn't help with childcare expenses. The twins were born healthy in January. I sent a gift card to Target. Nothing more. My therapist, Dr. Williams, helped me understand that I'd been grieving my whole life. Grieving the parents I'd needed but never had, the sister who'd never been my friend, the family that existed only in my imagination. You're not the villain in this story, she said during one session. You're the survivor. Spring brought unexpected changes. I paid off one credit card, then another. Slowly, painfully, I began rebuilding. My colleague Julian asked me to coffee. We started dating. He'd grown up in a similar family dynamic, understood the invisible child syndrome without explanation. In May, I got a text from Mom. Your father had another heart episode. We're at County General. Can you come? I stared at the message for an hour. Then I replied, I hope he recovers. I can't be there. She called 17 times. I didn't answer. Janelle visited that evening, found me crying on my couch. Second-guessing your decision? No. Grieving it. There's a difference. The truth was brutal and beautiful. I'd never had the parents I'd needed. No amount of money, sacrifice, or self-destruction would have changed that. They'd always chosen Evelyn. They'd always left me invisible. But visibility, I was learning, came from within. A year after that Thanksgiving, I sat in Dr. Williams's office for what she said would be one of our final sessions. You've done remarkable work, Amelia. How do you feel? Sad, I admitted. I'm healing, rebuilding, even happy sometimes. But I'm sad. I wish things had been different. I wish I'd been enough. You were always enough. They weren't. I nodded, tears streaming freely now. I know. But knowing doesn't stop the hurt. It doesn't. But you're no longer destroying yourself to avoid it. That's everything. Outside, spring rain fell softly. My phone buzzed, Julian asking about dinner. I smiled through tears and replied. The ending wasn't happy. There was no reconciliation, no moment where my parents realized their mistakes and begged forgiveness. Real life rarely worked that way. Instead, there was just me, slowly learning that I deserved better than the love I'd settled for. Some days that felt like enough. Other days it didn't. But every day I survived. And survival, I'd learned, was its own kind of victory. If this story touched you, please like, share, and subscribe. Drop a comment about your own experiences with family dynamics. Your story matters too. Remember, you can't heal in the same environment that broke you. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is choose yourself. The weight of invisible children everywhere remains the same. We destroy ourselves for love that was never ours to earn. We were always worthy. They were just never capable of seeing it.